We are back. I had to get that back right, man. Listen, sometimes when you're live, you get a little technical difficulties, but we're right back at it, man. That one was more of a human technical difficulty right there. But listen, we're back at it. This is the Stay Free live stream. Somebody asked me today in one of the comments. They said, "What was your daily routine like? What was your daily routine like?" That's what they asked me when it came to prison. Let me tell you something. It depends on the prison that I was at, right? But I was at one specific place. It was called St. Bride's Correctional Center. I was there for a minute. St. Bride's Correctional Center was a level 2, but it was jumping. This was a level 2 that was right in Tidewater, so everybody was close to home. Anytime there's a prison that close to the city, or cities in this case, quote unquote, it's going to be a little bit more active than a prison that's all the way out in the middle of the wilderness somewhere. I'm not saying it don't jump off there too, but this was one of those real active level 2 yards, right? And I had a specific routine set in place, one, because listen, I had become used to doing my time in a cell, which is crazy. When you have an issue with going to a lower level minimum, you know what I'm saying, type institution, and you'd rather stay in a cell, that's a problem, which a lot of people, guess what? They do feel that way when they're doing when they're doing time, right? For me, I knew I didn't want to go back to a level 4. I had already made it from a level 4 yard to a level 2, got sent back to a level 4. You know what I'm saying? Alfie, I see you, man. And I know at this time, I don't want to go back to a level 3 or level 4, none of that. I've seen too much. There's trauma on them yards, man, especially level 4 yards. Sussex 2 was out of control, man. That boy Slim, I appreciate you. So what would happen in the dorm is typically at 5:45 count, as soon as they were done counting, everybody would rush the bathroom first thing in the morning because they got to use the restroom. It's morning time. But you got to wait until count clears typically. And then there's only, at the time, I think there was 4 toilets and 4 stalls and 98 people in the dorm. So you can do the math there. And to give you more of an understanding when it comes to the bathroom setup in there, the stalls where you sit down to go number 2, there was no doors. You just there. And you know what was even more messed up about this prison? If the CO walked in and don't get, the common practice is you would put a towel over your lap, right? Just so you covered up. Because if you try to cover the whole front or something, and they will give you a charge. But here's the thing. Not even like 6 feet in front of you are the sinks and mirrors. So while you may have to go number 2 or whatever, you're trying to use the restroom in one of 4 toilets, 4 stalls are filled up. Now you got guys brushing their teeth in the mirror, looking back at you. Not a fun thing. You know what I'm saying? History, I see you. Not a fun thing at all, man. Sharing a bathroom, especially in a dorm setting with 90 some other people, is horrible. Everybody doesn't have the same hygiene. Everybody doesn't have the same consideration for the next man. You know what I'm saying? And the sinks used to fill up with people's spit or whatever. You know, I listen. And then everybody's sticking their toothbrush up underneath there and the water's kicking back. Oh, my goodness. So I didn't want to start my morning off like that. So I would get up at 3:45. Because in between 3:30 count and 5:45 count, you can go to the bathroom. And I would go then. I would use the restroom or brush my teeth, wash my face. I do everything I need to do while everybody else is still asleep. I would get up extra early. I had peace of mind. I could move around, mobility. And depending upon the shift, you could get a shower out the way. The COs wouldn't trip. Generally, though, I would have taken my shower the night before. But anyway, so that's how I would start my day off. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to work. Every prison I was on, I had a job. I used to fight to get a job. Whatever I had to do to get a job, I'm going to get a job. Because I wanted to be able to leave the pod. I couldn't stay in the pod. If for some reason it was a time where I didn't have a job, or maybe I didn't have a job outside the pod, I was going to the rec yard. Anytime they open the rec yard, I'm going to work out. I'm getting fresh air. I can't do it. I can't sit in the dorm to pod. I was never one of those type people. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I stayed productive. If there was time during the business day, because there's a business day that ends at dinner time on the prison, in between work, I'm probably going to the library. They had this place, it was a workforce development center. I would go in there and I would learn how to type and do certain things, do a resume, all this stuff. I would go hang out in these places because I could get out the pod. And I built the rapport with the people that work down there. So I was cool. I go chill in the library, read books, magazines. I feed my brain. That's what I did. And then every now and if there were programs, I would sign up for those. Somebody said, what books did I read? 144 Prison Pain and the Pathway to Freedom is the greatest book you can ever read. No, it's not, but it's my book. But I read a bunch of books, man. Listen, my reading started, my love for reading, started when I was in solitary confinement. Somebody said, how many times did I read 48 Laws? I read 48 Laws probably like 5-6 times. Robert Greene, Mastery, Art of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've read some books, but when I first went to solitary confinement, it was James Patterson. It was, what was it, Robert Gresham, Dean Koontz, All the Iceberg Slims, you know what I'm saying? Somebody said we didn't read it, we studied it. That's true. I like that breakdown, second lap. Because certain books I would read over and over again. This is what it was. I even was teaching a class on 48 Laws at St. Bride's. I disguised it as a leadership class. I'm not saying, but that's how I could get guys in the class, though. Oh, yo, he going there, because everybody was fascinated with that book. But I would read anything. When you're in solitary confinement, let me tell you something. You're going to read whatever you can read. And when that library card came around, I wasn't necessarily going for titles. I was going for how many pages. So the biggest books is what I would grab. The Odyssey, Memoirs of a Geisha, different things like that. Stuff I probably wouldn't even read, but guess what? That thing got 1,000 pages. Let me get at it, because that's going to take me somewhere. Reading would allow me to escape more than TV would. It would. Just that way. That's why I write books now. I'm a big believer in reading, man. Somebody said, there was a couple of questions back. Somebody said, did I have any advice for somebody that was newly released? Let me tell you something. If you're just coming home, there's a few things I want to tell you that I wish somebody would have told me. Well, some things I already knew. Like, I knew when I came home, I shouldn't be trying to keep up with the Joneses. Right? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I knew when I came home, I wasn't trying to compete with anybody. I wasn't trying to flex with somebody. No, not at all. Some guys fall victim for that, but not me. I was trying to get a job. But if you just get home, aside from that, right, trying to keep up with the Joneses, mental health support is probably the number one thing I could tell you to do. Whether you feel like you need it or not, I advise you to get connected to a support group. I tell everybody all the time, y'all can message me. Listen, I facilitate one every single Saturday. Yeah, we can connect. Whether that's therapy, whatever it is that you think will work for you, do that. Because prison is full of trauma. I don't care what level you are on. Just to be locked, confined, not able to see your family, certain things happen on the outside while you're in, whatever it is traumatizing. And you really don't know the extent of the trauma you've been impacted by until you come home and you're out of that very abnormal environment. So, mental health support for sure. You understand me? Outside of that, make sure you got a real support system around you. Like, don't just accept anybody back into your circle. Now they're all excited you're home. Now, make sure they're people of substance that care about their life, because they're more than likely to care about yours as well. The people that you hang out with and associate with is going to be very important when you come home, because most people can't stay on the island. And you shouldn't stay on the island. You need to be social. But you got to keep the right people around you. The other thing is, most definitely get a job, right? sometimes when people come home, they don't want to get a job. And I get it. And maybe there's going to be a time where you don't need to get a job. You can work for yourself or on a bit. But at first, typically, unless you just got it like that, you're going to need to get a job. And remember, you are making cents every hour, if not nothing at all. So you don't got to be like crazy picky with it. You just want to take that step. The other thing I tell people all the time, man, I'm big in recovery, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on recovery. So guess what? Stay sober-minded, man. Stay sober-minded. It's 2026, y'all. We like days away from that. You want to be on point. I know it hurts. You stressed out. There's anxiety. But listen, the only way you get better is to really process the emotions and what you feel in that experience. And you can't do that if you're numbing yourself out. And you want to be on point, especially when you come home from prison. You want to be on point. Right? Somebody said the workout regimen. Man, it's funny because after this, I'm going to work out. I got order me adjustable bench, the little at-home sauna. None of the expensive stuff. No. we waited for Black Friday. And I got a little treadmill. I've never seen the treadmill so small, but it holds up to 300 pounds, so it's good for me. And I get my hour in every day. Right now, I just do 30 minutes cardio, 30 minutes full body with the free weights, and then like 10 to 15 minutes sauna just to relax. You know what I'm saying? Afterwards. But on the inside, listen, and he not up here. My man, Big Baby, Shock, Duma, Hunter, who else? Los, Big Ray, Sterling, Courtney. Listen, I used to run the workout crew. After 5:45 count, we didn't go to breakfast. You know what I'm saying? This was on Camp 17. In Camp 17, they had a basement. So if you didn't go to breakfast, you can go to the basement. We used to go to the basement. They had this cement room area or whatever in front of the library, and we used to get it in. The 30 minutes straight, how we set it off with burpees. We typically was doing like 300 burpees in 30 minutes. People were like, no, you can't. Yes, you can, bro. You get committed individuals. We all started at like 130 minutes, but we was rocking for so long, so that's how we would start off. And then it'd be multifaceted. We would do a lot of like cardio no matter what, first thing in the morning. If for some reason they called outside rec, which was rarely, we go and hit the track. You got to make sure the heart is healthy. You know what I'm saying? The muscles and all that looks cool, but if your heart's not healthy, it's like having a fly exterior on a car. Inside, the engine is nowhere. So we get that in. Typically, I would eat at lunch. That would be like my breakfast. Probably not going to the chow hall. It wasn't the healthiest thing, but I'll probably make me 2 soups before I go to the chow hall most days. Though lunch was probably the better of the meals usually. And then afternoon rec, or somewhere between like 2 p.m., 5 p.m., if I'm not at the library, whatever it is, if I'm not at work, any of those things, going to hit the weights. That's how we end the night. You know what I'm saying? And typically at the end of the night, waiting to get on the phone or whatever, we're going to make a meal. Real easy. You know what I'm saying? I always was in my cut at the bunk when we was in the dorm. The brothers used to come over to I used to always have a bunk that was like against the wall in the back. I used to always have like the corner back, whatever. And I just ended up lucky like that, honestly, at both dorms I was in, I feel like, or was blessed. You know what I'm saying? Hamza, what's good, man? Yeah, you got to have a yellow bag, man. In the cell, I was getting a stinger, heating my hot water up. You already know. That's different. That's how I started off in the dorm. And the cell is because you can't go nowhere. You got to wait till they open up the cell. You know what I'm saying? Ham's always talking about the blue bag, man. Listen, man. How the youngins say, I think Ham's trolling me, man. But then again, he may like the blue bag. I've just never met nobody that said the blue bag over the yellow bag. That might be a geographical thing. I don't know, man. It might be I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Banky was in the same system. I don't know who Stay Out the Way Trey is. I'm going to look him up. Sweden, I see you in the building. Me and Banky have like crossed paths at events, but I've never talked to him. That I don't think so. Yeah, everybody knows Yellow Bag, man. My big bro Hamza just, he got to tell me he got to tell me about the blue bag, man. Trying to see if y'all got any more questions, man. Put them in the chat. Y'all like it, I love it, man. I'm here to support. Again, in 2003, I was sentenced to 144 years in prison. I made it home after 16 years, 11 months. 16 years, 11 months of hardship. A lot of lessons learned. I wish I could have got me, I don't know, a break somewhere. Came home earlier, but they said no. Yeah, I know who they are, Cardinal Blue. Well, I don't know. Stay out the way to try. I'm gonna look him up. Hamza, that was smart that you liked the blue bag of the Keefe coffee because you probably always had that. Nobody really asked you for a shot of coffee if you didn't have the yellow bag. Oh yeah, the black bag was something special though. Somebody said they want all the ramen flavors. Man, I just researched. And then shout out I got certain people, I'm not gonna lie, man. People be showing love and sending me, like, there's people that work in commissaries that be sending me stuff. I'd be like, yo, that's a blessing, because they know we gonna do something with it. We gonna do something with it, man. We raising awareness, man. You understand me? But listen, the daily routine was important though, if you were on the inside. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the people that was programming in there, that was structured, that was disciplined, those are the people that typically got through their time with less issues. Typically, I'm not saying issues still didn't arise. It's prison. It's men, right? But the brothers, they just wake up every day with no real direction and it was just whatever. Those were typically the brothers crashing out, getting into issues, etc., which is respectfully no different than out here. When you see, typically, I ain't saying everybody. I want to be clear. There's exceptions to the rule. I don't want everybody, yo, you stereotyping me. No, I'm not. I'm not saying if it's not you, it's not you. But typically, individuals that structured working a plan every single day, they getting up, they hitting the alarm, they going to the gym, they working, they with their whatever it is, they tend to be more successful. The brothers are just getting up and just here and hey, and don't know no rhyme or reason, not taking a step any specific direction forward at all. Typically, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Typically, man. Bread Ninja, I see you. What's good? Oh, they don't sell Brushy Creek or City Cow or nothing. I didn't know that. Did not know that. 25 years behind the wall, out 6 now. That's what's up, man. Shout out to all the blue collars, man. I did 16 years, 11 months after being sentenced to 144, also sentenced but 19. When I first came home, I was on a garbage truck. Shout out to the waste management. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to treat y'all garbage men nice, man. If they stop working, it would not be a clean place out here. I'm telling you. I worked in the warehouses picking pallet jack, the electric pallet jack, the forklift. What's the one that stand up on? I forgot the one. The cherry picker, all that. And then I just believed in my dreams. I was like, yo, I'm going for it. I'm going to be a content creator. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I want to get in that lane. Started going at that. And then I had a video. I was making content and speaking on and off. I wasn't consistent enough here and there once I came home from prison. And I went viral one time like in 2020, one time in 2021, but I kept stopping. I didn't really understand social media. Plus, I'm just coming home from prison. My mental health not where it needs to be either. Just to be honest with y'all, I'm still trying to decompress and get used to walking around in freedom. You know what I'm saying? But I had some good people that told me, they were like, yo, you got a voice. People listen. Like, if you stay consistent, it might go. And they knew I like to do skits. Like, I always was even when we was doing time, I used to be making the dudes laugh in there. Like, don't get me wrong. If you want to be serious, we could be super serious. But I was always the type, like, I try to keep it light around me. You know what I'm saying? We playing ball or we lifting weights. We out there. We in the pod. Like, I'm talking trash to everybody. But in a way, it's like, man, we going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? And luckily the people, they was like, yo, start doing this. And especially my wife, she was like, I believe in you. I started making content consistently. I didn't get no rhythm. I got like 10 views, 3 likes, like for probably almost a year. And then I remember it was crazy. This was so crazy, right? I had quit my job on a Wednesday. And I went that next day and I got ready to go do it. I was like, yo, I'm about to go deliver some food, get some money till I figure out what my job is going to be. Like, I'm going to apply for a bunch of stuff, but I'm not going to just sit here. I'm going to go drive and get this food and deliver that. And my wife, she wasn't really stressing it. She knew the type of man I was. She's like, yo, I know he going to get a job. I'm going to be down on it. But she was really big. She was like, yo, this is an opportunity to go after your dream, which is crazy because it's not like we had a bunch of money. No. We probably had enough to get by, but with my income gone, that was crazy. So anyways, I'm getting ready to DoorDash that next day after I quit my job. And I quit my job on a Wednesday, which tells you how crazy it was. It was a situation. But the next morning before I go, it's like 7:30, and I do a post. And it's only like a minute and some change seconds long or whatever. Boom. Go, get in the car. I'm driving around. I'm delivering food. And this was crazy too. Like 2 weeks prior, I signed up to be monetized or whatever. Because I had over 10,000. Anyways. About 2 hours into me driving, I was getting frustrated because you know how you waiting, you DoorDash or whatever, you waiting for that ding so you can go. It's not going off. I'm looking for the hot. All of a sudden, my phone rings. My man calls me, and I'm kind of frustrated. Quit my job. Now I can't make no. What are we going? I'm like, what's up, bro? What you want, man? I'm out here trying. He's like, bro, go to your page, bro. I was like, what's up? He's like, man, just go to your page, man. He's like, you posted something this morning? I said, yeah. I went to my page in like 2 hours. That joint was like at like 300,000. It was crazy. It was like a crazy. So he was like, man, you might want to make some more content. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna wait. So I finished, I drove a little bit more, delivered some lunch and all that. By the time I got home, it was like 1.2 mil quick views. And I showed my wife, and she was like, yeah, I don't think you need to go out there and deliver no more food. I think you need to make content. So when you get the views, it show you like how much you know. And let me be clear too, it differs in different places. And a lot of this stuff smoke and mirror. A lot of it legit though, but a lot of it smoke and mirror. When million views is good, but it ain't. It depends. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get into all that too, man. But I never went back to working after that. Never went back to working. Well, for anybody, just for myself, and not just doing content. Like me and my wife, we've opened up a school. We've had a successful nonprofit. Y'all can look me up. I always tell everybody, fact check me on everything. Fact check me, because people will see just this and they'll be like, they have no idea I got honored as principal of the year as a convicted felon. How you do that? I don't just look up the news story they did on me. They'll tell you how I did it. I ain't got to tell you. My nonprofit has a proclamation. It has its own day, June 23rd, in the city of South Fulton, for the work that we've been doing in the community and nationally. It's bigger than this. But I say all that to say, if I can do it after 16 years, 11 months in prison, I got locked up at the age of 19, came home at 36. I had to figure it out. Like I said, I was on the garbage truck and the warehouses, but I never gave up on my dream. I budgeted my money. I was super disciplined. I shopped at Goodwill. I still shop at Goodwill. I don't care. Up, down, in between. Shout out, I'm going. They got some jeans over there. I'm going to save me $20-$30. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? My wife was really good with budgeting. She's not the type where she like me. She's frugal, as they say. She grew up on 7 Mile in Detroit. So, we worked together. We focused on our dream. We built it. And I know part of why I say stay free, because somebody asked me, like, is it just about prison? No, it's not just about prison. Staying free is about whatever situation you in, getting into a situation where you feel free, whether that's mentally, physically, financially, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's different. What I want may not be what you want, but whatever your definition of freedom is, excuse me, I hope you fight for it. I really do. I really do, man. I really do. It's been a blessing because now, from telling my story, and that's why I tell people don't give up on your dream. Now I get to travel the country as a motivational speaker full time. I get to go into prisons and jails and recovery centers and colleges and everywhere you can think of, just because I started telling my story about incarceration. So if y'all got a dream, man, you know what I'm saying? Go at it. You might got to stay up later. You might got to get up earlier. I don't know, but go at it, man. Same way I told y'all that I adjusted, you know what I'm saying, for count time and all that. Adjusted for breakfast in the morning. That's how I made adjustments out here. A lot of what we learn on the inside, you can apply out here in a different way and be successful going forward. So that's what it is, man. I appreciate y'all. Somebody said they don't want to drink Keefy. Don't drink it, man. Don't drink Keefy, man. I get it, yo. Listen, as always, man, stay positive, stay focused. It's always going to be negativity, man. There's always going to be people that are sad or upset with themselves to the point that they want to try to throw negativity out there in the world, man. Don't pay them no mind. You know, stay focused on the good, stay focused on the light, stay focused on the hope. If you ever did time, if you like me, man, stay focused on your freedom. You know? You got to have something to focus on, and more importantly, you got to have your why. As we getting ready to go into 2026, man, the same way you pushed, you know what I'm saying, through your freedom, to your freedom, through your incarceration, what are you pushing towards now, man? That's the message of the day, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back up here tomorrow. Cardinal Blue, I appreciate that, man. Yo, I appreciate the opportunity. We're averaging over 100 million views every month. It's all God. It's none of me. Faith without works is dead. I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe in. Just telling you what works for me, man. I appreciate y'all, man. As always, I value your time. Keep bringing the questions. If y'all got skits you want to see me act out, etc., put them in the comments, message me direct. If you want to get connected to any of the merch, any of that stuff, man, link is in the bio. Book, all that stuff, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And again, thank y'all. Keep going forward and all that, man. And most